Hey everyone, it's Brian, and welcome back to the More For Me and You podcast. Today on episode 7, we welcome actor, producer, director, and entrepreneur Sierra Nowak, and we discuss her journey from a small town in Ohio to Los Angeles to pursue her career in film. And then later, we talk about a film that she picked that's playing for free right now on the free streaming service Mometu called Standing Up for Sunny, and it's starring RJ Mitt from Breaking Bad. And before we jump into the episode, if you have a moment, make sure you go subscribe, follow, give us a like or a comment. It really goes a long way. And with that, we'll see you in the pod.
Yeah, that's right. You're tuning in to the More For Me and You podcast. That's real interviews, real movie reviews, real people, real journeys. If you real, lock in. I've been working all night, early in the morning. If you hustle high, hustle, you can never waste a moment. That's more for me and you. 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 Let's go.
We met back at our launch party.
Yes.
Which was so much fun.
It was so much fun.
Did you have a lot of fun there?
It was fabulous, to be honest. I was like, okay, I don't know what this is, but I like what's happening, and I want to be involved.
It was a surprise for many people because some people that were invited didn't know who we were. And we were launching a brand. So
yeah, it was my
surprise,
first knowledge of Mometu.
And to their surprise, it was just one of those things that like, okay, I got invited to it. I'm gonna go check it out. I feel really bad because we invited like 400 people, like 300 ours to PDS, and like 160 showed.
Oh, wow.
I feel really bad for the 140 that didn't make it. And everyone that I've talked to that it came to that party was like, they missed out.
Yeah, it was lush.
Like, even if you don't like Mometu, just the night was so much fun.
You missed the vibes.
The only thing I hated was that, it still sticks in my head, is that the pole broke for the step and repeat. Like, as we were setting it up, we had no alternative. And so if you look in like our video or even some of the pictures, you can see like those step and repeats just completely drooped. Like,
and it was a broken pole.
It was a broken pole. It was snapped. It was actually like the screw on the inside that took the middle together just bent. And so like we couldn't do anything. There was nothing we could do.
Because you put this event on, like you didn't hire a separate event company, like you put it together.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
So we had help from our PR company at the time who helped with like all the invites and doing all the kind of coordination on that side. My stepmom used to do, like, I call her, she hates when I say party planner, but she's an event coordinator, or at least she was in her former life, and she did that party.
Oh, so you had some experts.
She used to do stuff for like Kobe and Shaq for all like their parties, like presidential stuff. Like she kind of just fell into it. She was a nurse, but then she like just fell into doing the event coordination stuff and just grinded out of her house to make it happen, and built it into like this incredible, I call it an empire. But I mean, to do the Lakers birthday parties is pretty cool.
It's pretty sick.
Yeah. If she did say that if Kobe was alive, then he would have come to the Mometu party. Like, even like she could have called and he would have been like, yeah, absolutely anything for you. So yeah, bummed that he couldn't make it. Bummed for many other reasons, but
yeah,
we don't want to get into sad stuff because that will make me cry.
Legend.
So let's get into you though. I think our guests listening to the podcast want to get to know who Sierra Nowak is.
What up?
Where are you from?
I am from a town called North Hill, Ohio. Very much just Akron, Ohio, if you've heard of it. LeBron James.
LJ.
Yes. Greatness.
Another Laker great.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. LeBron James, I've heard of him once or twice. He's a pickleballer. Or
yeah, he might be now.
It could be. I mean, soon to
Jamie
be.
Foxx is.
I mean, well, I don't know if I could say soon to be. He may not retire anytime soon. Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with him.
Superhuman.
So from Akron or outside of Akron?
Yes,
Yeah.
Akron.
Akron.
Yeah.
Ooh, I got that wrong.
Say it like you live there, Akron.
Akron.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people pronounce it Akron. It looks as if
like
it's
Akron.
spelled that way,
Yeah.
but we say Akron.
Isn't like John Legend from up that way too?
Ooh.
No?
I
Maybe.
don't know.
He is.
I should know that.
He's from Ohio, right?
Springfield.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's close to Akron. John Legend's from
John
Springfield.
Legend. Yeah.
Nice.
Ohio represent. Yeah. There's a lot of really famous people from Ohio. Yeah.
Crazy.
Isn't Dave Chappelle?
Dave Chappelle is. He is Ohio's own. I knew that one.
Yeah.
Well, lives there.
What's that?
Lives there from DC though.
from DC, but
he lives in
Ohio.
Ohio.
Got it.
He likes Ohio.
Yeah.
He stamped it as a good place to live.
Yeah, but he claims it.
He does.
So-
He reps Ohio, though. That's why.
He did his special with the Mark Twain thing in DC.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like when he accepted his award, but then he claimed to fame as Ohio. So there it is.
There we are. Ohio got a bunch of cool people out there.
So let's talk about Ohio. You grew up in Ohio.
I grew up in Ohio.
How was it?
It was fantastic. It's very Midwestern. I wouldn't have traded my childhood for anything. I think the people and the things that I was exposed to growing up are so impactful into who I am today. And they say that, your parents have an impact, but I was reading some statistic. I'm going to totally butcher it, but it was something around like 70% of who you become is from external factors and environmental factors. I grew up in like quite an urban part of the Midwest. So I was just exposed to so many different cultures, so many different people and socioeconomic statuses. I went to 3 different high schools because I was super bullied. And I just it just gave me really good thick skin. Like you can tell the difference between kids who had to rake leaves and shovel snow and the kids who didn't.
Absolutely.
It just builds a different grit.
Yeah, I do agree with you. I did not grow up in Ohio, but I understand that for sure. I don't want to get into my childhood, but no, not at all. Okay. This is not about, we're not reversing the chairs. But yeah, totally get that. Builds a lot of grit, builds a lot of character for sure. And I think there's a lot of, like my son, hopefully, I'm going to teach him things that he's not going to get exposed to where we live because we just don't have that where we live. Right. Fortunately, we don't. But
yeah, pros and cons.
There's pros and cons. Yeah. So I will get him exposed. I'm going to take him back to my hometown. I'm going to show him all the things of what kind of made me who I am. So
it's important.
I really do think so as well.
Like experiences that you can't buy. You have to create them. You have to be engrossed in it, and it just keeps you aware that the world is bigger than your block and your neighborhood.
100%. Yeah. So, growing up in Ohio, you did a bunch of things. Not going to get into like all the stuff you did as a child, but you wanted to get into the entertainment world.
Yes.
And you came to LA. First, before, like, was it something that you were exposed to when you were growing up that made you want to get into the industry, or why did you even come to LA in the first place?
Yeah. Oh, LA. So growing up, I knew I wanted to be an actor model. Like this is not a new pursuit of mine. It was since I was a kid. There's literally a picture of me at 3 years old with a microphone in my hand.
Awesome.
Like I had no chill from a very young age. I like having a microphone in my hand. I like being in front of people. So I started in theater. So I was doing musical theater as a kid in middle and high school. And speaking, like transitioning with childhood, I had an interesting childhood. And so school was like my safe place to get away from all of it. So I was involved in everything, and theater was a big part of that. And then when it came time to applying to college, I was like, this is my golden ticket to get out of Ohio. Like, love Ohio, but I was ready. And
I feel you. I left town too for college, so.
Yeah, I was like, we gotta go.
I got like a full ride to stay in town at a college near, like literally 5 minutes from my house, and I was like, I'm good. I'd rather pay back debt and go somewhere else.
Yeah. And I was really fortunate that I had an uncle. It's the only other person in my family I know that ever got an education. I'm a first-generation college student, and he was like, go to the best school, take out the loans, it'll be okay.
Yeah.
And not that I'm like uber promoting having student debt, but I have so many people I know from my hometown who didn't go to college because they were so afraid to take out that loan. But then they're just stuck in our town working at the local grocery store. And it's like, sometimes you just got to take the loan out on yourself.
Yeah. You can always go back. Like you can always go back.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with staying home, going to local JC, they're going to local college, they're doing all that stuff. I had a lot of friends that did that, and they've since eventually moved away from the hometown, or even sometimes stayed in the hometown. Like one of my buddies in my wedding went to high school with him, went to college, like a nearby college, and then he ended up worked for the city that I grew up in. So like, there's nothing wrong with staying either. Yeah. But I do appreciate the experience of traveling and going somewhere else and living in a different city and just getting to know a different culture, even though only 3 hours away. It was still something. So you came to LA for school, or like where did you go to school? Where did you choose to?
Yeah. So I came to LA and went straight to USC.
I heard of it.
Yeah, heard of that one?
Go
Fight
Trojans.
on, everybody. I actually did my first year at my local college in Akron because I didn't get into Harvard, and I was pissed. And so I was like, I'm not going to college. And then like 2 weeks before, I enrolled in the local university because I was like, what else am I going to do? I was working at Dairy Queen.
Shout out DQ.
Yeah.
Turn it upside down. Let's go.
Yeah.
I ate so much Dairy Queen as a kid.
I still
in the
eat
local mall.
so much Dairy Queen.
So good.
You got to go to Century City here.
I'm a frozen yogurt guy now, though, so I changed it up. I do like a really good ice cream, though, but frozen yogurt, I had to make a compromise.
Yeah.
You get married, you make compromises. Frozen yogurt is more of the thing we do. So healthier for the kid, too.
Listen, happy wife, happy life. I support that fully.
100%.
Yeah, so I knew I wanted to get to a big city to pursue things outside of school, and I was kind of just going to use school as my ticket to get there. Very fortunately got accepted on a full ride to USC.
Wow.
Couldn't really turn that down.
Yeah, that's not easy to do.
Apparently, I didn't really know it was such a good school. I'm a first-generation college student. Like, the school counselor helped me apply. I was just like, it's in LA, and I want to go to LA. And once I got here, I realized I got into the Marshall School of Business, and it's one of the top 10 business programs in the entire world. Luckily, I was like valedictorian and class president, had crazy testing scores because, again, school was my safe space. So, yeah, it ended up working out.
Small pats on the back there for valedictorian. Oh, only the smartest person at my school. No big deal.
Yeah. Technically, so by the actual 0.00000 scores, there was a girl who was above me. I'm salutatorian of my class, but graduated valedictorian on my diploma, whatever.
But you hid drugs in her locker and she got kicked out of school.
Yeah,
the last day. So you could get the title.
No. But yeah, so I just used school as my way to get to LA. But then, USC wasn't like a casual university. It required a lot more of me than any education I had prior to. Like, I like to think of my time in Ohio as like my street smart development.
Yeah.
And then when I got to USC, it was like, oh, we're in the land of academia. Like, I can't just show up and get an A. Like,
surrounded
I
by the streets.
Study.
So.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of best of both worlds there a little bit.
Yeah. Like, I'm now surrounded by everyone who was the smartest kid in their town. That was a rude awakening.
I bet.
Struggled my first semester. And then I got it together. And that was great. And I got to LA. And I don't think without USC, like, I'm very grateful for that transition. Like, college is a great transition to a new city. It's a safe kind of a transition. Whereas people who just moved to LA, I'm like, wow.
Yeah. But you went there for business.
I did.
So how did that transition into like entertainment world?
Yeah. So I was using college, which is crazy because now it's my like proudest accomplishment, as a ticket to get to the city to do what I wanted to do. And so when I got to USC, I learned about SCA, their film program, and I picked up a minor in SCA for production.
Great.
Casually.
Yeah.
The #1 film school in the world. Like,
just
I lucked into this life. Like, I don't know how I ended up here, but it worked out. And I'd always done theater, and I knew I wanted to do acting and modeling, but I didn't really know it was a real job. Like, I had no exposure. There's no ounce of nepotism in my life.
Yeah, it's just a hobby for most people. Just it's not like a serious thing.
Yeah, like, I thought I get a job, I retire, I do community theater, and that's it. And I still very much plan to do community theater, and I do. But going to USC showed me that it was real. Like, in my sorority at USC, there's like Sophia Bush was in my chapter, like her picture's on the wall. In my actual like cohort of women, Greer Grammer, who's Kelsey Grammer's daughter, was in my sorority. I was like sitting in a room with her. I was like, oh my God, that's Greer Grammer. I remember asking her, I was like, hey, I really want to be an actress. Like, do you have any advice? It's the stupidest question. Please don't do that to people. So embarrassing. We never really spoke again after that. Yeah, I just was like, I'll take anything, please, and definitely get in class. There's steps to take. But I was a 19-year-old
And don't ask a
college
famous
kid.
actor's daughter how to get into the biz.
Yeah, it was really embarrassing.
Because either she's going to think you're dumb or she just doesn't want to talk about it because she grew up with it. And she's just like, yeah, I don't really want to get into that at all.
But she's like going to USC to be a college student and like
get away from all
be
that.
my sorority sister. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And I'm like, hey, tell me everything about acting.
Tell me about your
Embarrassing.
childhood. No, I totally see that, and I think you probably got exposure to a lot of different people at
It was
USC like that
crazy.
because
Miranda Cosgrove was in my cinema program. There were just so many incredible people that I was surrounded by, and I was like, oh. And you also learn that, okay, these are just people. Like, I had a really weird thing with money growing up without any.
yeah,
And then going to USC and being surrounded by both people without any who got there on scholarship and people with way too much, or what I thought was too much at the time. And it taught me, money isn't bad. People with money aren't bad. Like, that was a really important lesson to work in the entertainment industry.
Well, when you don't grow up with money, you don't understand what it can it attain and like what it does for you.
Yeah.
And I went to a private institution as well, so I get it. But I also was completely naive to the fact that it existed because I would go there and didn't really think about it. Like when people had like 10 pairs of like the newest shoes, and like it just didn't click for me. I'm just like, oh, they're just into shoes,
Right.
Yeah. I was like, I was wearing the same pair of shoes like all year.
Oh,
and so
yeah.
it didn't click, right? Because I was just there to be an athlete. Well, eventually be an athlete there. So it was just one thing where you just, I didn't think about it because it was not on my mind.
Yeah.
But when those people are probably like judging you because that's how you grew up. So
Yeah.
again,
I was privy to it. I was very sensitive with money and
Mm-hmm.
when I saw nice things and how I thought they got it and what I thought that meant. And now I'm very grateful that I was exposed to more
100%.
people. Just in the reverse, if you go up privileged, you think something of people without, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then when you get to know people, you're like, oh, this person is spiritually wholesome and mentally wholesome and emotionally like they're whole. Like they're not missing anything. It's like just being exposed to the other end is so important.
Yeah, there's a whole spectrum across the board of it.
Yeah.
So you get exposed to the entertainment industry by meeting Kelsey Grammer's daughter.
Embarrassing myself.
And so, but you got a minor. You kind of got exposed to the real entertainment world, right? Or not real, but just like the bigger entertainment
the film
world.
side, right?
Yeah.
Because theater is fun and there's black box and there's a few lights, but in the film program, I was learning about the history of cinema. I was learning about the evolution of the camera. I was learning about lighting setups. I was like, oh, this is what I love.
Yeah.
Like I'll always love theater, but the magic that can happen with cinematography and just every ounce from the glamour to the PA work. Like I love it all. I love every part of our industry. And I'm just really grateful that I had that exposure in college.
For sure. I got exposure to the entertainment world, but on the flip side, the non-education side. My parents were in the industry. And so like I got exposure being on
In
set.
entertainment.
Yeah. My dad was director,
What'd your parents
producer.
do? What?
Yep. So, but a lot of indie stuff, the stuff you've never heard of.
It doesn't matter what it is.
It was fun.
He was
right?
holding a camera.
Yeah,
He
at
was
times.
talking to people holding a camera.
Yeah.
We love that.
And I grew up on set, so it was just like getting exposure that way, where my understanding of it was like learning the camera because I sat on my dad's lap while he was looking at a camera, right? So it was just like a little different. And that actually made me not want to be in the industry, which is crazy. So it's the complete opposite. Yet I'm back here in front of a camera now, which is so weird. I have 2 acting credits to my name. I think I was like 2 years old and like 6 years old. So, and then I left it there. Adorable. I know.
Child actor.
I guess so, right? Not
Yeah.
not successful, but I just was there because it was like free childcare, I guess. And I guess I probably got taken care of by all the makeup artists and whatever. So, while my dad was making his movie, so yeah, different
that's so
different exposure
cool.
to the film industry, right? So, you get into it via education,
Yeah.
get exposed to it, you love it,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to do this for a living. Like, was it that quick and easy, or was there still a process to it?
Well, I was always enamored with
Mm-hmm.
movies and acting, and I always like looked up to Julia Roberts and these stars, and I'm obsessed with Audrey Hepburn, and like that's always been. But then seeing like the proximity I was to it, and I was like, I could do this.
Yeah.
Like I can do this, and I think that was
Yeah,
that was
small,
it.
Yeah, that small town grit, and you're not
As
going to.
soon as I got close enough to
Yeah.
kind of feel the heat, I was like, oh, put me in the oven.
100%. But you didn't. You didn't go straight into acting, or because you went kind of a pageant route too, right? Like,
Yes. So Halle Berry is from Ohio.
Yep.
And she's a very notable actress from Ohio, but she was also Miss Ohio.
Yeah.
So when I started doing research, this is like the era of like Desperate Housewives was on TV, and Ava Longoria was an actress that I was in love with, and she was a former Miss USA contestant, state title holder as well, I believe Miss Texas USA. So these women who I thought had amazing acting careers, I noticed like, and then I found out like Beyonce had done pageants. So I was like, okay, well,
guess I need to look at these pageants.
That's a path.
Guess I need to look at this pageant world.
Yeah. And I did my first pageant at, I think it was like 16. So
Okay.
I had already kind of like dabbled in that world because I got a letter in the mail, and I'd always wanted to do modeling and acting. So I was just trying to grab at anything that would like make it more real. But doing like Miss California USA was huge because we had like a director as one of the judges, and we had Megan Tandy, who was a former Miss California USA, who's a very successful actress in like the sci-fi and mystical world. And so it just kept like anything I could do that I could like sign myself up for to get myself closer, I was doing it.
Yeah.
Whatever it took. I was working like 5 jobs to afford to do a beauty pageant. They're very expensive. It's a very expensive hobby. But it was a part of the journey. It was getting me out there. It was getting me exposure.
Yeah.
It was getting me closer to, when you want to do something, you start to look at, okay, who's done it and what kind of steps were they taking? There's no linear path to this industry. I think we all know that. But you can take tips. You can, sign yourself up for a few things here and there. And
so speaking of that, how many pageants did you do before I guess you got a win?
Oh.
Because I know you won.
Yeah, before I got a win. Great question. A lot.
Miss Swimsuit USA?
Yes.
Okay.
I was Miss Swimsuit USA. I was Miss Turismo Latino. I was Miss California Super National. I was Ohio Miss for Princess America. I did have a few wins in my day. I did, but I did way more that I never won. Like my first pageant, I didn't even make the top 15, and it was only out of like 40 girls in Ohio.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't even in the top 15. Like I was nothing. But you have so much fun getting on the stage and get the glam. Like I had no reason. There was no like cotillion of my socioeconomic background. Like I had no reason to be glamorous until I did pageants. It was like,
and just fell in love with it.
Yeah. And there's an interview portion. So you're up on current events and you're talking about charity, which I've always been very like invested in giving back and getting involved in any way I can. So it's like speaking to my heart and all the things that I really love, both the vain and the wholesome. And I just, you're put into a situation to be judged and come prepared to
literally
perform.
judged, because that's like what it is.
No, you're literally judged.
A whole panel of people just
in a
saying,
swimsuit.
Yeah.
In front of so many people.
Nerve-wracking.
It's so nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
But after you do that, like imagine walking into an audition room.
Yeah.
What?
Not even phased.
I'm ready.
Yep.
I know who I am. I've been forced to say who I was for 10 years. I should make a list. There's definitely over 50. Like I've done so many pageants.
Yeah. You could probably walk in a room with something on your face and people just be staring at you and you'd be like, what?
Like, huh?
What's
and you
up,
tell
dude?
me, I'd be like, oh, cool, thank you. And not embarrassed by it either when I
Yeah.
find out, it's like you just get a different level of skin thickness. I think pageants, they have pros and cons. Definitely I had to do a lot of like deposifying myself and depresentationalizing who I was after pageants, especially going into acting. For modeling, it's fine. But when you need to like get myself back to that like childhood grit that I know was within me, I had to like peel back the layers of the like, hi, I'm Sierra. Like the Barbie doll.
Yeah, change right to a different person. You have to kind of chameleon a little bit.
Yeah, so that was definitely some learning, and you can both grow in your self-esteem, and your self-esteem can also be hurt through pageants. But the beautiful thing is you hear no so many times, and guess what? You hear as an actor, you hear no.
You hear no a lot.
Or you hear nothing.
Yeah.
Which is worse than hearing no when you've spent hours on a self-tape. And you just that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And if you don't want that life, don't do it.
100%. That's truth for anyone listening to this that is wanting to get into the world or is currently in it. Like, you're going to hear no a lot. And I mean, it's kind of like being a salesperson. It is what it is. Like you're going to get told no all the time.
Yeah.
And all those no's though really help build your character if you take it in the right way.
Right.
And I've heard that a lot because I watch Gary Vee. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Gary Vee. Love when he talks about all the failures that lead to successes. And he's like, it depends on how you learn from your failures.
Yeah.
Sir Alex Ferguson, who's a famous football coach in England, talks about that a lot too. And I'm a big soccer fan. So he talks about all the times where he like got to the finals and lost. Mm-hmm. He said he learned more from the 9 finals he lost than like the 32 trophies that he raised.
Ooh, yes.
Which is just because it helped him be better for the next time.
Yeah.
And so, that's probably the hardest thing, especially when you're being told no, is to learn from it, especially if you continue to hear that. So, but you've been told yes sometimes as well as an actor. So let's kind of swing into that world a little bit.
A lot more no's.
A lot of no's.
But it makes the yeses sweet.
But what have you been in that's like that people may have seen you in, know you from, and love to get into even like what you're doing today. So
yeah, so definitely my first like network booking was Lucifer, and that was huge because there's something about like when you're acting and you're doing like indie films and short films and your kind of plays and getting your first like network booking. It's kind of like a network stamp of approval, if you will.
Yeah.
Because then any other network or shows like, okay, she was on a big TV set and it went okay, so we can trust her on ours.
Yeah.
So that was like a huge moment for me and just feeling proud to have got that credit under my belt and worked on such an incredible, iconic show. I'm very grateful for that experience. I booked that the same exact weekend I was filming a Lifetime movie.
Okay.
And it filmed on the same day.
Ooh.
And I was sitting in a dentist office. My manager called me and he was like, hey, you booked Lucifer. Can you do it? And I was like, of course. And he called me back. He's like, it's filming the same day as a Lifetime movie. We have to decline. I said, ooh, no, let's not do that. Let's not decline.
Yeah.
Let's figure this out.
Can we do both?
I was like, Lifetime is filming overnight. Can you find out if Lucifer is a day shoot? He's like, you literally won't sleep for 2 days. I said, I don't care.
Doesn't matter.
And
you've been grinding too hard for this.
I was like, I've been waiting 2 years for this booking.
Yep.
Or maybe it had been 1 year of auditioning without like having a network credit yet. And he calls me back. He's like, Lucifer is an early morning call. I said, confirm me.
Midday nap.
Confirm me immediately. So I was filming in Santa Clarita for the Lifetime movie, which is called Kidnapped to the Island. And then I had to drive down to Long Beach for Lucifer. And yeah, I just didn't sleep for 2 days. It was so worth it.
100% worth it.
You know, you get where, you know, it without having a network booking yet, first of all, it had been forever. And these come, you know, once every few months, once a year. Like, you have to make it work.
If ever.
If ever.
Yeah.
Oh, if ever.
I'm just saying, if ever, for some people, like they they sometimes don't even get the opportunity. So, I mean, if you have that dangled in front of you, you have to figure it out.
Had to.
Good for you for grinding to make that happen.
He's like, if you are late to set and you make me look bad, I'm dropping you. And I was like, I will not be late. I will be there and it will be amazing.
I will leave the Lifetime movie early if I have to. I'm going to pretend that I'm sick. I don't know.
I'll figure it out. Yeah, it was so good. So that was really cool. And then I went on. I've done a lot of indie films since. I haven't really played in the TV space after that. I ended up getting an agent and they asked me what I wanted to do. And I was like, I want to be a movie star. And they were like, okay. I was like, I want to make movies.
You and everyone else, hon.
Well, there's like people who really love TV.
Yeah.
And now the point I'm in my career, I'm like, okay, no, I want to play in TV land. Like TV's, the turnaround's so much quicker. It's almost guaranteed and it pays better. Like there's no shade on TV. Like you'll see the biggest stars are doing TV now.
Yeah.
But we were talking like branding and I was like, I don't know. I want to be Audrey Hepburn. I want to be Elizabeth Taylor. I want to be that girl. And so my team went full film. Like I only auditioned for film for years. And so I have now accumulated 4 feature films that will be coming out that are still in the queue. Here's the thing. 2020 was pandemic.
Yep.
Scratch that year. 2021, I started getting out there again. Didn't book anything all 2021. And then, so I did a lot of like indie producing. And then 2022, I booked Oak, featuring Armand Asante and Joy Lauren Adams. Amazing, amazing people to work with. Catherine Daddario, shout out. She's incredible. And yeah, we just still haven't released that film. We have some whispers of a casting crew screening coming up in a few weeks, but
it's promising.
Film takes forever.
It does.
Most of the time.
Well, I guess it depends on how it's structured, because
there's a lot of VFX in our film.
Like who's getting Final Cut and all that stuff, right? Who's editing, and did they run out of money? Do they have to get more money? Like, I talked to a filmmaker who made this film back in 2021. Still has not been released yet.
Yeah.
And
I feel him. Her.
Him.
Them.
And his cast hasn't even seen the film yet.
Yeah.
They even do it. Like, the film's fun. It's done. But he doesn't even want anyone to see it until he secures exactly how it's going to get released.
Wow.
And so I was like, I get that.
There's so many things that go into it. If you're not a producer on, you don't really have that intel.
No.
You may, but most of the time as an actor, you don't.
There's a lot of films that have been made that have never been released.
And there's that.
Yep.
Which is spooky.
It's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. A lot of wasted money, but it's just unfortunate altogether, because it's like you get paid to do a job, right? And you have to think about it as like, okay, I'm a professional. I get paid to do a job. I did what I was supposed to do. But like, as an artist, you're like, I want to see what I did.
No, it's
right?
my
And
child.
it's your child.
Like,
it's your
that
baby.
movie is my favorite thing I've ever worked on.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
I can stand by that.
But it's also hard, because then you ask the question, like, well, when can I see it? And we're like, when it's ready? Like,
yeah, like, it's my child that I have no rights
go
to.
away. Go away until we need you to promote it.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. But that is an unfortunately part of the industry. So
it is.
So you had some breaks. Did you pick up any other gigs along the way to kind of help you make ends meet or get it more exposure?
Yeah.
Like, what have you done? Because I know you do a lot of promotion stuff. So
oh yeah.
What did you kind of do in that world?
I try to keep things like entertainment adjacent, or things that fuel my creativity.
Yeah.
It's kind of like where I try to live. So I did pick up a gig as a Monster Energy girl,
Whoop, whoop.
which is like the funnest job in the entire world. It's ridiculous.
I used to drink those things with a straw.
Yeah, I still do.
I don't touch them anymore, but
oh, shout out to your self-control.
Yeah, when you hear, I'm not going to get into that, because I don't want to go down the monster role, but I did a lot of things when I was younger that probably consumed things in my body that I shouldn't have, especially Monster.
There will be no Monster slander on this episode.
I think what they do is great. They sponsor Tiger Woods. They're awesome. But I just don't drink them anymore. I just don't drink energy drinks anymore.
Right.
Like, I'm getting to the point now where I have to think about, am I going to keep taking pre-workout anymore?
Have you heard of Rainstorm?
No. What is this?
It's a new line of energy drinks. Parent company is still Monster, but it's all green tea extract.
Ooh.
Full serving of B vitamins, biotin, chromium, zinc. Can you tell I work with them?
I can tell you know a little bit about them, yes.
Yeah, but delicious and amazing. And I work with them a lot. So kind of transitioning also, even from like full Monster Energy girl to like Rainstorm brand ambassador. I do a lot of pickleball tournaments.
Yeah.
So fun.
Love pickleball. The environments are just a blast. Everyone is just having a good time.
You'd be surprised how many directors, actors are in the pickleball scene. Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Shout out to the best paddle. I just got mine. I'll give you guys my code so you can order yours.
Tell them your code. Tell them. What's your code?
Sierra, and then some numbers that I need to memorize.
Don't tell them your code, because you don't know it.
Embarrassing.
We'll put it in the comments.
This is
Tell
new.
me
This
later.
is new. I haven't even opened the paddle yet. But yeah, you see people like Jamie Foxx getting involved in the industry. I mean, he loves pickleball, but yeah, it's cool when you can do jobs that are career adjacent, like still entertainment adjacent, but also like just the networking, just being in this city and working jobs like that can bring you. I also started a candle business.
Very cool.
Yes.
Tell me more. Tell me more. I may have ordered one for my wife already, but tell me more.
Yay. It's called Sanctuary Candle Co. And it is a sustainable, natural, organic candle line. I use coconut soy wax, essential oils, and crackling wooden wicks. So you're getting aromatherapy, you're getting the relaxation from the sound of the wicks. Like, everything about my candles is meant to promote peace and relaxation and bring good vibes. They're handmade, hand poured. I make every single candle to order with love.
And they smell amazing.
And they smell amazing.
My house, it smells phenomenal. So thank you.
Yeah. It's because I use...
And you can customize them. Like the customizable front, I think was awesome. I ordered the one that said I love you on it, but I was able to add add her name on it or something. So smart.
Yeah, I do fully customizable logos. I can do like Mometu candles. I can do at a few restaurants in the Valley, Boulevard Steak and Casita, which also Jamie Foxx, Dr. Dre, investors of these places that now my business is in.
Smart.
So then I'm doing meetings in these spaces. So yeah, it's just, I think being here has been such a benefit to my life because no matter what avenue you're in, entertainment is the heartbeat of the city, which is like, hey, stay in LA, bring production back, because it trickles down to every business, every industry, all the way down to the small businesses. And I've been so grateful to be fortunately impacted by that. And I just hope we can see that continue. For
Absolutely.
Our city.
Well, typically at this stage of the podcast, we'd like to transition into a small business promotion because we want to just showcase small businesses. But this week we're choosing yours. So everyone that's out there, she just mentioned it, but sanctuarycandleco.com, not sanctuarycandle.com, sanctuarycandleco.com. Keep them. Make sure you add the co. Go in there and check out those candles. They're incredible. They smell amazing. They look amazing. You can customize them for anything you want to do. Like as far as for Valentine's Day, for a birthday, for anniversaries, whatever it may be, you can do it. And so order them for your wedding. Like get them customizable ones for your entire all of your guests.
We do favors. We do like
Love
smaller
it.
6-ounce sizes, baby showers, weddings, you name it. Promo marketing events. We made like Cobra Kai candles for their wrap party.
So cool.
Super fun.
We'll definitely have to do some Mometu candles.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get one and put them right here on the table.
Well, I should have brought you one. What was I thinking?
It's okay. We had the popcorn here. We had to keep the popcorn here so your stomach could stop making noises.
I know, so embarrassing. I am an eater. That's one thing. Okay. Anyways, but let's throw in like code Mometu and get free shipping. So if you do support Sanctuary, through finding it through the Mometu podcast, and you use code Mometu, you will get free shipping on your order.
Mometu.
Mometu.
More candles for me and you. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing about just who you are. Growing up, you're obviously doing some incredible things in the entertainment world as far as being an actor, being a producer. We didn't even touch on that. Maybe that's a whole nother segment when we can get one of your films on the Mometu and we can have you back and talk about the film and do a movie review on that film down the road. But also becoming an entrepreneur. Like, good for you. You're just grinding out there, doing your thing, becoming the next Audrey Hepburn. And
that's
love it.
Biopic coming soon.
Ooh, that might be part of the game we're about to play. So maybe we'll find out. But thank you so much for sharing about yourself. And go buy some candles.
Woohoo.
Being a small business is very difficult. And that's why each week we've decided to shout out a different small business that we feel you should support. And this week we've chosen Sanctuary Candle Company. They're 100% vegan, cruelty-free, and actually owned by this week's guest, Sierra Nowak. So make sure you go visit sanctuarycandleco.com to order a candle just like this one. And the cool thing about it is that they have some generic ones, but you can also customize your message to whoever you're gifting it to. So again, go check them out, sanctuarycandleco.com. And with that, let's get back into the pod.
Do you want to play a little game?
I do.
Awesome. Well, we have a game called This or That.
Okay.
And it is brought to you by coastlinetravel.com. Or it's brought to you by Coastline Travel, but their website is coastlinetravel.com. Another website you guys need to check out. And for if you ever need, travel, like any help with travel, flights, hotels, excursions, all that stuff.
Oh, we like excursions.
We love excursions. They do it all. So anywhere in the world. And they actually are affiliated with a company called Virtuoso, which is awesome. You get amenities, upgrades, all that fun stuff. So really great.
Like upgrades.
We love upgrades. My wife and I went somewhere through Coastline, and we got to location. They had like a bottle of tequila waiting for us in Mexico, and so got upgraded to we had like a cold pool plunge like on our balcony. It was just like We didn't pay for those, but
Yeah.
hey, thanks, Coastline.
They have
So
a hookup.
they do. They got some good relationships out there. So coastlinetravel.com. Go check them out. We're going to ask you 20 questions. Some of them are just fun and silly. Some of them are getting a little more serious at the end. The first question I asked to all of my guests, just the first question. All the rest of them are just for your episode. Tacos or pizza?
Tacos.
Tacos. I have to go with tacos.
Immediately.
Do you stay up late or wake up early?
I stay up late.
Stay up late.
Yes.
Got a night owl.
Mm-hmm.
Camping or glamping?
Camping.
All about camping.
All about camping.
Love it.
If we're going to do it, let's do it.
You got to do it right. I mean, I do like a quality glamp, though. I'm not going to lie.
I'd rather go stay at a nice hotel or go camping.
True.
Like, give me one or the other. I feel like you're meeting in the middle. I don't really know. What are we doing?
It also depends on the weather. I mean, if it's really cold, then give me that RV.
Yeah.
Just going to say that.
I'm not going if it's really cool.
But I cannot wait to take my son camping. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Text or call?
Ooh. This is circumstantial, but I'll say text because I'm more of a texter. But I love to hear a voice. Like, I love a call with a girlfriend that lasts 3 hours for no reason.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Not with a girlfriend, but for me, it would be a guy friend. Travel back in time or into the future?
Back in time.
Back in time? Why?
Because I don't know what I'm going to find in the future. Kind of dystopian, if our planet will exist type of life. And I love the 50s and 60s. Like, I would just love to go to a dinner theater with a singer and just go dancing. Like, that would be where I would go.
You can go back and be best friends with Audrey Hepburn.
I would.
Would you rather stay in or go out?
Oh, stay in.
Stay in.
Mm-hmm.
Just pajamas, movie,
Mm-hmm.
Mometu, popcorn.
Yeah. I like to host. So I like to conjure all my friends to my house. I still like to have my community and my people, but in my space where I can host.
For sure. And which is so different now. Like nowadays, especially after COVID, like not a lot of people like going places. They just like staying in.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. You stay in, but bring the party to you.
Yeah.
Would you rather live in the city or live in a small town?
Small town.
Yeah. Go back to Ohio. Would you?
I will have a house in Ohio.
Yeah.
I would like to live in a smaller town adjacent to Los Angeles.
Okay.
I think just if I had to pick one or the other, I do like the camaraderie of a small town. There's just a charm that you do miss.
Yeah.
You do miss. I think where I'm at in my career now, this is where I belong, but long term, what Sierra actually likes is more of the small town.
Home in Ohio, home in small town, apartment in LA.
Yes.
Never remember anyone's name or always mix up people's faces.
What I do, or which one would I rather?
Let's just say what you'd rather or what you actually do. I mean, it doesn't matter.
I do not remember names well, but I do always remember a face.
You do remember a face.
Yeah. Hey, you.
Hey there, buddy. I'm all about, same. I always forget people's names.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually learned from my father-in-law that the one trick to that is when you meet someone new, say their name 3 times in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, it's nice to meet you, Craig. Craig, what do you do for a living?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Craig, do you see what's going on with the Dodgers lately? Whatever. Like,
I have to remember it long enough to say it that second time. Like,
yes,
that's where
I always depend on my wife, though. I'm like, babe, go say hi to that person. Find out their name.
Yeah.
Snakes or spiders?
Which is worse or better?
I don't know. Doesn't say.
Snakes.
You like snakes?
Let's go with snakes.
I didn't write all of these, by the way.
Yep.
Free time or extra money?
Free time.
What would you rather have?
You use money to get ourselves free time, right? Like,
Yeah.
in my opinion, time is the one thing that can't be bought.
True.
Or that you can't create, and that is a fleeting resource. So always time.
100%. Always shower or only take baths?
Always shower.
Showering?
Mm-hmm.
So much faster.
Yeah, it's efficient.
Apple or Android?
Apple.
Gotta go Apple.
Yes. Don't text me if it's going to be green. Just DM
Those
me.
green bubblers, and then like you get the heart thing that like someone left a heart on a comment. Like, what
Yes,
comment?
I'm getting a text
What
every
comment?
time we do an interaction. I'm like, guys.
Yeah, but then all the Android people say like, oh, the phones are whatever, inferior, blah, blah, blah. Get an Apple. Get an Apple.
The apple.
Foodie tour or a wine tasting?
Ooh, that's
It's a tough one.
a really good one.
Yeah.
Foodie tour. I'm a huge. I like food.
Favorite
Food
food?
likes me.
What's your favorite food?
Crab legs.
Crab legs.
Last meal, crab legs.
Specific?
Cajun crab legs.
Cajun?
Mm-hmm. Creole, Cajun.
Alaskan king crab legs here.
Ooh.
We had this question from friends of ours,
Mm-hmm.
and they asked like, what's your meal? Like, what is it called? The your last meal, but it's like Armageddon meal or whatever. Like your zombie apocalypse meal. Like, what's your last meal?
Right.
And it was surf and turf.
Oh,
Got to be a solid fillet with some Alaskan king crab legs, truffle
amazing.
mac and cheese.
Oh.
So, and then you got to have a really nice Oreo cheesecake. I love Oreo cheesecake.
Oh, you got the whole
Got the
thing
whole, well,
planned
because
out.
they asked. So I had to really prep it and get through it.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is that they actually invited us over to their house and made that.
Oh.
So they
That's
didn't do
good.
Alaskan king crabs because those were really expensive. We just
Yeah.
had some Dungeness, which is totally fine.
I love some
I grew up on
Dungeness.
Dungeness.
Me too.
But yeah, that's such a cool thing to do. So like, if you're listening, ask people what their last meal is, and then have them over and make it for them.
That's next level.
It's stellar.
That's hospitality. Right
100%. 2000s rap or today's rap?
2000s.
100%.
Everything.
Not even close. Mumble rap, get out of here. Speak in whispers or sing everything you say?
Ooh, I do like the whispers.
I do like a little ASMR of my stomach rumbling.
But I'm a musical theater kid, so I would probably, I do sing a lot of things annoyingly.
Yeah.
So I would probably end up there.
It would actually be kind of fun to live in a musical.
Yes.
Like, think about
You can.
that. Yeah.
You have the choice to do that every day.
100%. I would love to sing in a musical. Just have everything be like the Greatest Showman.
Yeah.
Just all day long.
All the above.
I think what Family Guy did that with Peter Griffin. Or
Oh,
like
I'm
he
sure.
had like show tunes to everything he did. That was really funny. Read a book or watch the movie.
Ooh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I love movies, but read a book. It gets my imagination going. I get to see the movie in my head.
You get to make the movie.
I get to make the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dream about it.
Mm-hmm.
Old Hollywood or new Hollywood?
Old Hollywood.
I already knew the answer to that.
Obsessed.
I've been talking about Audrey Hepburn all day.
Love.
Villains or heroes?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Villains to play for sure.
You want to be a villain?
So fun.
If you could, so let's piggyback off that. If you could be any villain, like replay any villain, who would you want to be?
Ooh. If I could be any villain, who would I be?
And it could be a voiceover too, but we could also make it into a live action film. So who knows? Maybe someone's going to cast you for it now.
Yeah. That's a hard one. If I could be any villain. I just like villainous characters. I just feel like you get away with more bold choices. If I could be any, like we're saying, literally I could do anything I want.
Anything, yeah.
I think like a female Joker would be really
Ooh.
cool.
Like
Not like a Harley
Quinn.
Quinn, like a female
Yeah.
Joker.
That's awesome.
I think that would be, you know,
Great choice.
just the shifts from the
Yeah.
like, da-da-da-da-da-da. You know, it's
Yeah.
just, the work's fun.
Here it is. I knew it was in here. Documentaries or biopics?
Biopics. I honestly, hot take, I hate documentaries. I'm so sorry to every documentarist out there.
Documentarian.
Yeah, I'm like, just
Yeah.
book me a trip. I need to go. I need to see it because,
Mm-hmm.
or I'll read a book on it. But I just feel like maybe they need to be revamped. I feel like sometimes they get stale.
I like documentaries about people.
Mm.
I'm not as big of a documentary fan about places,
Yeah,
right? So like
Yeah.
I need to see it. I don't want to see a documentary about a safari.
right.
I want to go on a safari. But if it's about a person, sometimes there's some things that you can really get to know about them. Like I love the David Beckham documentary. Like I just really enjoyed it. But
Yeah.
it's just because I'm never gonna get to meet David Beckham or like
Right.
go to his house and like see him make honey on his farm. Like it's just cool insights. So like
I want him to produce a biopic that I can watch
there you go.
that has a story
Love
through
it.
line.
Love it. If you could star in a movie, would you rather have it be done by Christopher Nolan or Steven Spielberg?
Ooh. Okay. Am I in charge of picking the topic of the movie, or I have to pick one of their.
This is your podcast, not theirs.
Oh, it's my podcast. Okay, I love Christopher Nolan's work.
Yeah.
Like Memento, Inception type of like thriller, mind twisting, time shifting, like Interstellar. Like that is the kind of work that I really, really like feel drawn to creating. But Steven Spielberg, USC, also, if I was to pick my film, I would want to do an Audrey Hepburn biopic, and I feel like that would be more his lane.
Yeah.
So if it's their movie, I'm going Christopher Nolan, and if it's my like executive producing and I get to hire them, we're gonna go Spielberg. We're gonna do Audrey Hepburn biopic.
Love it. Yeah, fight on, Steven Spielberg. Fight on. Would you rather win Best Picture or Best Actor?
Best Actor.
Yeah.
And that's all ego, and I say it with my chest.
Say it with the pride. Well, thank you so much for
that was fun.
Yeah, wasn't it? All the cards are all over the ground, which is even more fun. No one gets to see that as much as we do. But yeah, it's a good time. So thanks for playing this or that. Got to get to know you a little bit more. And if you're looking to go somewhere where you don't want to watch a documentary about a place, go to coastlinetravel.com and make sure that you book your next trip, book your next safari, book wherever you want to go. They literally go anywhere in the world. They can help you. So
nice.
Coastline Travel.
Shout
out to y'all. And with that, we will say adieu to this or that.
Promoting your podcast is hard, and that's why each week we've decided to promote a different podcast that either we enjoy or a guest enjoys. And this week we've decided to promote the Get Wrecked podcast, and it's starring Juju Green, aka Straw Hat Goofy. And guys, if you're not following this podcast, you're definitely missing out. Juju has incredible guests on to talk about their films, and Juju is honestly a movie nerd in all the best ways. So go check out his podcast, the Get Wrecked podcast. And with that, let's get back into the pod.
You got the opportunity to go to Mometu.
Yes.
I gave you a little task.
Yes.
Look through all the films that we have and to pick a film of your choosing that we would both watch, come here and talk about.
Yeah.
And you chose Standing Up for Sunny.
All right. Give it up for a very funny guy, Mysterious Bag Man.
Yeah, I have issues.
This is the story of my best friend.
Girls like guys they can fix, right? I'm like catnip to the ladies.
Travis is a solo act, but nobody dreams of being alone forever.
Come on, just talk to the pretty girl. How hard can it be?
This is gonna suck.
It'll be fun.
I just wanted to see if you need any help.
How would this work?
We're gonna go get me another beer with a lot of head.
Ha ha ha! So clever.
Lucky you're a freaking retard, mate.
The body's fried. The brain is fine. Kind of the opposite of you.
Nice work. How about you come in and give us some tips on how to repel people like that?
How do I learn to do what you did?
Sonny has assertiveness issues, don't you, babe?
If you say so.
Why do you see that guy?
Hey, okay, rude.
I'm not superficial. I do all the telethons. Those things go all night. The biggest comedy festival on the planet. We're going to enter you into the open mic contest. I want you guys together, working on comedy gold. From now on, you two are inseparable.
Initiate launch procedure.
You're really a piñata full of crazy, aren't you? Yes! Do you know what it is to want something even if it doesn't make sense?
No, I'm crazy. Why'd you do that?
I need you to trust me. Can you call me? There's something I need to tell you.
I don't need you. I don't need anyone.
You're making the biggest mistake of your
I
life.
can't be in a relationship with someone that doesn't trust me.
What is it?
I saw her hugging Mikey and just assumed.
Hey, numbnuts, talk to her.
Your friend can't come backstage.
He's disabled. I'm his carer.
You're blind.
He's an equal opportunity employer. He's in love, and his girl is out there.
You can have 2 of my minutes.
Thank you so much.
What are you gonna say?
I have absolutely no clue.
Somebody is about to eat a big shit sandwich.
I'm like a cat, always land on my feet.
Why did you choose Standing Up for Sunny?
When I was scrolling through, I was looking for something that would be fun. It would be within like kind of a rom-com-ish zone. It's something that I could watch with a little like ease and get a fun ride. But then I also saw that the character, like Standing Up for Sunny, dealt with cerebral palsy.
Yeah, RJ Mitt.
Yes. And I did my research after and found out he actually does have cerebral palsy as well. And so I was like, ooh, I want to see what this is about. Growing up, my brother has cerebral palsy. And that just totally impacted my childhood and my mom's experience being a mother and the whole nine, and our experience with foster care. And I mean, so much kind of stemmed from him having cerebral palsy. So I'm very passionate about it. I volunteer with the Best Buddies organization. And when I saw that in the film, I was like, I don't know if I've ever seen a movie with an actor kind of shedding light on this. So yeah, I just...
Yeah. You've seen actors like play different like disabled characters, but like actually having a disabled character be that. And we all, most people know RJ Mitt, or if they don't hear that name and understand it, like know it. He plays Walter's son in Breaking Bad. So like we know, or some people know that name. So to see him actually star in something was really, really actually fun. So thank you so much for choosing that, first of all, because it was, it's such a fun film. And most people talk about like special needs or any disability. People kind of get down about it, but it's like he actually celebrates it in this film. I think it's really well done.
He owns it, and
100%.
he knows it doesn't change his worth. It's just a part of who he is, and I thought that was really, really special to see on screen. Yeah.
So what was your first take like of the film? We're going to try to keep it spoiler free, but what's your first take of this film?
Yeah, first take of the film was spoiler free.
And you could say some things. It's okay. Like
I really liked the relationship that I was like watching build between the gal at the restaurant and him, and kind of just the dynamic of how they set up the characters.
Northeast.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was beautiful to watch how they were like setting up the story. It wasn't like your typical drop the books, pick it up, make eye contact, la la la. It was very like, I felt like this is something that could really happen. Yeah.
And it's not much of a spoiler. He stands up for her.
Yeah.
Right. So.
And with Stand Up.
Yes.
It's so good. The name is so good.
Such a good play on words.
It is. And I just thought it was interesting because you think, the character you're meant to feel bad for, but then as things develop, you're realizing, it's actually a lot more complicated than that on who's the protagonist or antagonist or which struggles we're watching. It's very much like a story of two people's very real struggles and how they can kind of use a shared love of stand-up comedy to overcome them and not be controlled by what's happened to them or what conditions they're born with.
Yeah. Not letting those things inhibit them from living life. So we have RJ Mitt, who plays Travis, Philippa Northeast, who plays Sonny, which obviously standing up for Sonny.
Yeah.
And we have some other great actors in this film. So I'm looking off a card here because I don't want to get their names wrong, but Sam Reed, who plays Mikey, who some would say is kind of the antagonist.
Oh my God, he was a great villain. Yeah. I would go far as saying like a villain.
True.
I hated him. And I love that. I love when I'm watching a movie and I'm like, I hate this guy.
Yeah. It's so weird because you see the first scene, I like him. I'm like, oh, he's supportive and this and that. And then it just like slowly peels back the layers. You're like, I just want to wring this guy's neck, right? So I think he did a really good job of that. And I would say actually to get in the characters, we were going to talk about characters later, but I think we're kind of already there. Who's your favorite character of everyone in the film?
Oh man, who is his blind roommate?
Yes.
What is that actor's name?
Gordo.
Gordo.
Italia Hunt.
I loved him. The character was amazing. He did an amazing job. I mean, it was all of the comedic relief I needed.
Yeah.
At every moment I needed it.
Like even from the beginning, it was like he goes to like live with him, right? Because he's the housing situation or whatever, and he whacks him in the head with a bat.
Off rip.
And just to get an idea of like just how funny he is and how well he portrays this, there's so many more jokes in the film, so I'm not giving much away.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh, can you hand me my bag? I need my medicine. And he's like, is it this bag? And he's like, yeah, that looks like it's it. And it's just like, he can't see it. Like it's so good. He just does such a great job. But one thing I really enjoyed about these characters was the fact that other than RJ Mitt, I really haven't heard of most of them.
Yeah.
Like there is Radha Mitchell, who's probably the top billing in the film.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't play a massive role in the film, but just these characters are kind of unknowns.
Yeah.
Like it sets in Australia, and that was made in Australia. So we're getting used to some actors that are not from here.
Yeah.
So we get exposed to people. Like this is what's so good about the film you picked, because it's a film that literally, like you say in our movie of the week sometimes, the best movies in TV you've never seen. It really is that.
It was so good. It was so cute. And, you know, I love that you're watching like a gang of misfits, but no one feels bad for themselves.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes like in society, we project that people who have X or Y or Z should feel bad for themselves, or we feel bad for them. But then when you really get to know these people, like they don't feel bad for themselves. They accept, like we all have stuff. Some of our disabilities or what have you, shortcomings, are just a little more hidden than some other people's, but everyone's got something, you know, whether that's your attention or what have you. We all, you know, it's just important to remember that and not cast judgment. And I think this film does such a good job of exposing how differences can be superpowers.
I love that.
Yeah.
Look at you. Was that your quote, or did you get that from someone?
No,
That's really good. I love that.
It did that. The film did that.
It really is.
Yeah.
It becomes superpowers. I'm going to use that. Can I use that?
Yeah.
Okay?
Absolutely.
I'll give you credit in the notes.
And hot take, I have never seen Breaking Bad. I know that's terrible. So I learned.
I'm not going to judge you for that.
Yeah.
Even though you've been in pageants, I kind of want to judge you right now.
So Standing Up for Sunny was my segue to Breaking Bad, because I saw RJ Mitt there first.
Okay.
So shout out to Mometu. You
Let's
never know.
go.
Yeah.
I love that. Even better.
Yeah.
So getting back to the story, you fell in love with. I mean, there's so many good pieces to that. I'm trying not to overwhelmingly talk about this film because I really enjoyed it. But what was your take on the story, and like how did they do as far as like writing it, even directing it? Like, how was the story for you?
Yeah, I thought it was crafted very smart. I love that I wasn't quite sure where I was going when we started, or the kind of twists that would come as we went. And I think having the character of Gordo was so important because, you know, while these characters don't feel bad for themselves per se, they're still dealing with very difficult things.
Yeah.
And that becomes more prevalent as it goes on. And being able to have that comedic relief was so important because, you know, every good movie, we want to laugh, we want to cry, we want to walk away with something to remember. So like my 3 things I look for when I'm watching movies. And this film hit all 3. And it took me to a place where I was with the characters and I believed what they were going through. And it was so fun to watch the build-ups and the falls because it's not what you expect when you first turn it on. And I thought that was they just developed it very well.
Yeah, absolutely. The fact of them owning their shortcomings, like, yeah, you talked about being a superhero, right? But like, I feel like we need to laugh at ourselves so much. And that's what really got me in this film, was that thinking about the things that I don't do right all the time, or that it's just, I mean, it's all the time.
Yeah.
But
same.
the fact of doing those things and then just taking a second and like not being so serious, because I feel like we take ourselves way too seriously sometimes in life.
Yeah.
You just need to take a moment and just laugh about it.
Yeah.
And then you can figure all the serious stuff later. But like,
Right.
it's so important. I feel like this film really got to me in that sense, because you do have some pretty serious shortcomings, disabilities, if you want to call them that. But like,
Yeah. Or
they're
experiences or traumas.
they're almost abilities for these people. Because the person being blind, but then his senses of everything else are so much bigger, right?
Yeah.
And it just and even his comedic relief is just great.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see him in more things. I want to see Italia Hunt. He needs to get over here to the States and do some more work, because I've looked at his IMDb page and it's like there's nothing that's really built off of that. I would love to see him in more things.
Yeah.
Representing the Samoans and
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that film was an excellent showcase for him. It was so, he was amazing.
Shout out to the casting director for finding Italia Hunt.
And the emotional depth, you know, while his character is the comedic relief, if you will, from like a screenplay standpoint, still has an amazing arc. Still has so much depth that you see in his eyes and what he goes through and what he's experiencing in this storyline. And I just thought that was really cool and just very well crafted.
Yeah.
If you will.
What was your favorite moment of the film? It's a lot to choose from, but like, because there's so many good moments.
Yeah. I can.
Not like spoiler. Like, we don't
I was like,
we don't have to get
know,
into like the very spoiler hard, but like there's so many moments in this film. Like we don't have to say what it ended up becoming or what it ended up doing for the film, but like, was there a moment that just really stood out to you?
I liked a very unexpected lesson in communication that comes about 3/4 of the way through the film. You know, it's so important, I think, as people to not assume. And that's something that I think we're all very, very guilty of often. We get one piece of information and we create a story around it for ourselves. And there's like a really beautifully shot example of that in this film. And you just want to scream like, turn around, you know, or like, open the door, pick up the phone. And, you know, but it's so real. Like that's how life is. Sometimes what we think is real isn't at all. But we took a seed and we planted a fake garden with it. And now we're living over here. And like, it's like, we just turned around. So I thought that was like a really beautiful lesson in the film. And you gotta,
what happens?
watch it to find out.
What happens when you assume? Right?
Yeah. You and me.
Yeah. You and me. Me and you. Well, me too. Final words about the film. I'm going to give that to you. Keep this review short, because I feel like we both loved it so much we really want to talk about it, but I'm trying to keep this as spoiler free as possible. I feel like people just really need to go watch it. It's so worth it. Friday night film, like Friday night flick, literally this weekend. So as you're watching this, listening to this, wherever you are, go to Mometu, Standing Up for Sunny. You have to watch it this weekend. It's so good. Final words about the film.
Amazing character development. A story that'll, like I said, make you laugh and make you cry. And it brings a lot of inner realizations. I think this film is really, because you're seeing so many different people, like the characters. There are not many collapsible characters in this film. And what I mean by that, my acting coach, Graham Shields, shout out to Graham, he always says, if you're sitting around a white table, and there's that old saying of like the red wine spills on the table, if two people have the same reaction to the wine, you don't need both of them in the story. And so I feel like as the wine is spilling throughout this film, every character is having a different reaction to it. And that alone, if you like film, is enough of a reason to watch this movie.
I love these little nuggets about life that you have. It's so great. I'm going to add so many into my life. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing about the film. Last question I'd love to ask you. You're going through finding a film. There's obviously a lot of options on Mometu. Who's kind of going to enjoy Mometu, and why should they check out the platform?
Yeah. Everyone is going to enjoy Mometu, but especially those people who want to discover talent that is undiscovered, like the character Gordo. Like imagine that now we know of that actor out there. Amazing scapegoat into new talent. New directors that you might not have heard of. If you're in the industry, this is a great way to scout people, because this app has so many incredible indie films on it that are just little gold mines of talent that is a perfect portal to discover them. But also, if you love classics, like I loved during spooky season, Mometu had all the good classics. So you can watch your lovely like 50s rom-coms, or you can watch amazing horror classics. So it's really an amazing platform for people who just love cinema. You can watch your classics and you can discover new talent. And I think those are like the two biggest benefits of Mometu.
That's awesome. And one thing that's really cool about it is that we are 100% hand curated.
Mm-hmm.
So our team literally moves all the films around that you see on the platform. So the platform doesn't look different for you and me.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have algorithms. So it doesn't present it like under a profile. It literally presents it the way we want to present it.
Yeah.
And you get exposed to content you just never knew existed, never knew you loved.
Right.
So get down a whole rabbit hole of things. So if you have not checked out Mometu, definitely go check it out. What I would also advise you to do is go check out our movie of the week. So series, Mometu Movie of the Week. We have it on social media, so you can find us at FreeMometu on any platform. You can also check us out on YouTube, which is probably where you're watching this currently. And you can scroll down and find the movie of the week. You're going to see a familiar face that's on this podcast because as of 2025, Sierra's come on to do our Mometu Movie of the Week series. So we really appreciate you for doing that as well. You're doing an incredible job. And you may see her even on our app one day too. So
who knows?
Who knows?
No, I love Mometu. Thank you so much for having me today and letting me gab about movies and life and my journey. I hope anyone listening that they got something, a little nugget out of something.
Hopefully just had some fun too.
And had some fun. And download Mometu. It's free. What are you doing? It's time.
Go now.
Go now. Right now.
Awesome. Thanks, Sierra.
Thank you.
Thanks for spending your time with us today on the More For Me and You podcast. If you've made it to the end, we appreciate you. Now, go do us a quick favor. Please like, comment, and share this episode. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode with the incredible guests we have coming up. You can also follow us at Mometu Podcast on Instagram and on TikTok. Oh, and for your next movie night, check out the Mometu app. It's free and packed with amazing movies and shows you've probably never seen. Until next time, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you in the pod.